It's Super Bowl week, so it's the perfect time to welcome back a Super Bowl winning coach who is also a 2022 Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee, Dick Vermeil. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to me.
All right. Always a pleasure to come back into the Philadelphia market.
Hey, Coach, you went to the Super Bowl after the 1980 season with our Eagles and again after the 99 season with the St. Louis Rams when you, Kurt Warner, and company hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. The week leading up to the Super Bowl is even wilder now, I think. How tough is it to stay focused amid all those distractions?
I think the game has reached such a dynamic event level that I think the players now are pretty structured and disciplined into knowing what they have to do, both pregame and preparation, and then game day. The games used to be dominated by one side, and many people would be disappointed about the game. But recent games have ended up being pretty darn good games, and I think all the organizations have learned to control their preparation time and keep everybody focused.
Well, as it turns out, you coached both of this year's Super Bowl franchises, the Chiefs in the 2000s.
Right.
As we speak, the Birds are a slight favorite, according to Vegas. This could be a great game. What should we expect on Sunday night?
Well, me being a fan of both, I say I'm going to root for both of them to win and then feel real bad for the one that loses. Okay. But, right now, if you study them statistically, like I have through the computer reports that I've been working with for years, I find that the Eagle defense gives them a slight favorite rating. I think in fact, my computer says the Eagles should be favored by 4 points. Now, I understand the bookies say it's less than that.
Yep.
But it'll be the kind of game, Chet, that I think the team that doesn't commit a stupid foul when you've stopped the team and you've got a holding and you give them another first down, they go on and beat you, or that you on offense you score a touchdown and you've got a penalty against you and the touchdown's called back and you can't rebuild that 6 point you just lost. Those kinds of things, and sometimes now the officiating calls, because we give those guys so many things to think about, that they do make a mistake in judgment from time to time, and that ends up either helping you or getting you beat. So I think it's going to be that close a game, and I think I'm not saying anything that's unique. I think everybody pretty much feels that way.
A lot of players are not 100% by the end of the season. That includes both quarterbacks this time around. Patrick Mahomes, though, is pretty amazing, even when hobbled a bit. What do the Eagles need to do to limit his effectiveness?
I think, number one, don't give up the big play and make them earn it. Philadelphia is basically a zone coverage team, and they've done a good job of keeping balls in front of them and not allowing the bomb or too many 20-yard plus plays. And I think that'll help them. I don't think they have to change what they've been doing. They just might have to do it a little bit better than they have been doing it because of Patrick Mahomes. He takes plays and makes them work even when they're broken down. In fact, I think some of their big wins have come because people disrupted his normal routine of throwing the ball within the discipline of a pattern, and he goes out and makes some kind of a big play. So you could almost say, let him throw the basic part of it, and don't press him to the point where he's running around and making the big play off his movement. So he's a phenom. He does things we have never seen another quarterback do. Yeah, and the other shoe on the other foot, you just stop and think the problems that the Chiefs defense is going to have with Jalen. My God, he's so mobile and he's throwing the ball extremely well. Now, you mentioned the injury factor. I kind of believe by game day, he won't even be a thought. I mean, he'll just play like he's always played to get us in the Super Bowl. So, that's why they call it the Super Bowl. There's not another one like it.
Well, Hurts is wrapping up a terrific season himself, as you mentioned, a legitimate MVP candidate. Do you think he is on track to be a truly elite quarterback now?
Well, I think he's proved it. I don't think there's a question in anybody's mind anymore that he is the guy. He's the franchise guy, and he may never be 70% passer but when you put the combination package that he brings to an offense, he is. You aren't going to find many any better.
Going to be a great game for sure. Hey, Coach, it was exactly 1 year ago that we last talked, just before you got the official word that you were voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What were your emotions when you got the official news? And I was there, but what was the experience like in Canton last August when you had a slew of friends and former players there to see you be inducted?
Well, I think my basic emotion is dominated by just being grateful to and for everybody that made a contribution in my career. Hopefully, they all feel that they made a contribution, and when I went into the Hall of Fame, they went in as a percentage of my effort, and I mean that sincerely. You know, people have said, "Coach, you appear to be very humble in making this statement and giving everybody credit." I don't know if I'm humble. I'm just real honest. You know, I know what it takes to win a football game, and so many people have made contributions that made a difference in my performance as a football coach. And I love including them in my evaluation process.
One time I was complaining about the players we lost in recruiting. He said, "Sit down." I sit down. When John Wooden says sit down, you sit down. I sit down. He said, "Now listen, Coach, don't worry about those players you don't have. Just make sure you do a great job of making those who you have the best they could possibly be." You know, and I've operated under that simple philosophy the rest of my coaching career.
By the way, we had Vince Papali on the show last week, and I asked him about that weekend in Canton, and this is what he said.
We were there for it, and I never could have been more proud to have seen Dick Vermeil up there and be with all my teammates. And then, you know, it was really cool, Chad, is afterwards they had a party with all the guys from the Rams and all the guys from the Eagles that were there. There were about 100 of us. You talking about it was great. It was a good time.
I want to hear more about that party, Coach. Was the Vermeil wine flowing that night?
Oh, yeah. I think we went through between 8 to 10 cases of wine. And when they shut the party down about 20 minutes to 1, they said, "I think we better shut this down." There were still about 50, 60 people left in the room. And it was one of the great experiences I've ever had in that environment in my lifetime. And everybody that's been there, you just heard what Vince had to say. They all really sincerely enjoyed it. It was more of a reunion than it was a celebration. I mean, the guys just really enjoyed seeing each other, and some of them hadn't seen each other since they played together.
And what a great day in Canton. I was there, and just terrific. So again, congratulations on that. All right, I need your official Super Bowl 57 prediction, Coach. Chiefs and Eagles Sunday evening. How's it going to end?
In a tie. Okay. I can't predict a winner. Only thing I can tell you is my computer, which I've been relying on for years, certain reports that I was actually involved in helping design them years ago, say the Eagles are going to win by 4.
All right. Hope it's a great game, but I'm rooting for the Eagles. Thanks, Coach. Enjoy the game and have a terrific year.
Yeah, you too. Take care.